Hey family, it's Ray, and I'm back with another word. I pray you guys have been blessed and that this word finds you in good spirits. I am recording this on Thanksgiving, so I pray that you all are spending time, enjoying time with your families, your loved ones, if you do celebrate the holiday, and just giving all glory, honor, and praise to the Most High. And so I am here with another word, and this word kind of piggybacks on a dream that I mentioned in my previous word about a pregnancy. Okay, and so this came to me on November 22nd, and in this dream I saw a woman who was standing in front of a mirror. Initially in the dream, when I first saw her, her shirt was down. She had on a red Angels t-shirt and her shirt was down, and just looking at her with her shirt down, she didn't look pregnant. Her stomach looked flat, like I couldn't see a belly or anything. Then she rolled up her shirt to reveal her belly, and she actually had a very large, rounded, protruding belly. And so she was very, very pregnant. Then it went to a new scene where she was at a doctor's appointment. She was in a doctor's office, and in the dream, it was my primary care doctor. She was there to get an ultrasound, and there was another woman with her. After this, it goes back to a different scene where they're in a home. The woman who was with her in the ultrasound scene was not back in the home with her, and the woman who was accompanying her was in the bathroom, and the pregnant woman, was sitting on a toilet. Now, obviously, in waking life, a toilet is going to be inside the bathroom, but in the dream, the toilet wasn't in the bathroom. The toilet was outside of the bathroom, kind of like in the living room space. And the woman who was accompanying this pregnant lady was inside of the bathroom, and she was on the phone with the doctor that they had just left. The pregnant woman was asking the woman who was accompanying her to call the doctor to see how far along she was. The doctor responds back to the woman on the phone and asks her, or tells her, that the pregnant woman needs to come back in. So as a accompanying woman is relaying the message to the pregnant woman, she is like this urgent, rushed energy, and she's asking the woman, can you come back in now? And the pregnant woman says yes, and that was the end of the dream. So some of the highlights that the Lord gave me for this dream was, first, like I mentioned, the doctor in the dream was my doctor, and I didn't really pay any mind to it at first until I began to actually write this dream down. So the first thing was that this is my doctor, who is my primary care doctor. Okay, why was it my primary care doctor and not my OP doctor? Then as I began to actually write out her name, the Lord led me to look up the meaning of her name. And so I'm not going to say her name, but I'll read the definitions of what each of her names mean. So her first name means worthy of love or lovable. Then the last name, she has a hyphenated last name. The first last name is Christ bearer, or carrier of Christ within. And then the second last name means twin. Okay, now the other thing that the Lord highlighted to me from this dream was how I mentioned in the last scene that the accompanying woman was inside of the bathroom, but the actual toilet was not in the bathroom. The toilet was out in like the open area of the home, and the pregnant woman was sitting on the toilet. The Lord led me to look up what the toilet represented, in this he led me to a dilation station. And so now, do y'all hear this? I'm at work, so I'm recording this at work, but y'all hear this behind me, right? Okay, so a dilation station, they play that after a baby has been born. And so it says the toilet is commonly used as a dilation station in the labor world. The reason being is that when we are more relaxed, our cervix can more easily dilate as the baby presses down on the cervix with contractions. All right, and so going into the message that the Lord gave me for this dream, it is happening. You are birthing sooner than you think. So at first in the dream, I mentioned how her stomach looked flat up under her t-shirt. But then once she lifted the shirt up, I could see the round belly. And so you have been hidden while you were being processed and developed. This could also signify that you previously may not have seen evidence of this pregnancy outside of just receiving the promise or confirmation. And this is where I was referring back to how I mentioned about the word in my, or the dream that I shared in my last word, where I was talking about a woman who received like the promise or the revelation that she was pregnant through an ultrasound, where she could see the seed on the ultrasound, and that she had like this print off. The print off, instead of, you know, the typical, what is it called, like the pictures of the womb that they give you from your ultrasound, instead of that, she had an actual receipt, like it was written. That's what the Lord had given me, that it's written, like this is something that is, it is written. And so her receipt, or her proof, or her confirmation of her pregnancy was not the ultrasound picture, how it is in waking life for us in the world, but it was instead a receipt, and it was written confirmation of her pregnancy, evidence or promise of what, you know, was planted inside of her. Outside of receiving that promise or that confirmation, hence her stomach looking flat with her shirt down, but lifting up the shirt, the Lord gave me the veil, or the covering, being lifted. You are about to see the evidence, or are now seeing the evidence of this pregnancy, or of this promise. So the red angels t-shirt again represented the covering, and your pregnancy being hidden, being covered, being protected. Okay, so what you are birthing is covered and protected. And then you are pregnant with twins. Like I mentioned, the doctor's second last name means twin. You are pregnant with twins. You are birthing multiple promises, and you are in labor. And that goes back to the dilation station. So two things: you are closer than you think you are, or you will be delivering sooner than you expected. And as I was doing some research, I continued to come across the fact that twins usually are delivered earlier than singleton pregnancies, meaning like as far as weeks in gestation, twins usually don't make it to 40 weeks. They're usually delivered earlier than 40 weeks, whereas a singleton pregnancy can be carried out up to 40 weeks, and sometimes longer than 40 weeks. So twin pregnancies, they're typically delivered earlier than a singleton pregnancy. Okay, and so you are closer than you think you are, or you will be delivering sooner than you expect. Now, he also highlighted the urgency and the rushed energy when the accompanying woman in the dream asked the pregnant woman, could she go back to the office for another ultrasound? Mind you, they had just left the office, and the doctor was on the phone asking her to come back in. Okay, and so the scripture that led me to, took me to two scriptures. The first one was Genesis 25 verse 24. So when her days were fulfilled for her to give birth, indeed there were twins in her womb. So, and this can signify two promises being birthed, but for some people this can literally be a physical pregnancy, where the Lord has promised you, where he has shown you that you will be having twins. Okay, and so the next one was Luke 1, starting at verse 13. But the angel said to him, do not be afraid, Zacharias, for your prayer is heard, and your wife Elizabeth will bear you a son, and you shall call his name John. And you will have joy and gladness, and many will rejoice at his birth. For he will be great in the sight of the Lord, and shall drink neither wine nor strong drink. He will also be filled with the Holy Spirit, even from his mother's womb. Again, Christ bearer, carrier of Christ within. And another thing that I forgot to mention in this dream was that in the very beginning of the dream, when I said I saw the woman standing in front of a mirror, she had this thought, in her excitement, she had like this thought. I could hear her thought that she was wanting to take a picture, but she wanted to take a picture and send it to her spouse. Now, I didn't see that she actually did it in the dream, but I could hear her thought that she thought about taking the picture and sending it to her spouse. And so, just like it was for Zacharias in Luke chapter 1, when he received the word from Gabriel, the angel Gabriel, that his wife would bear him a son, that his wife would become pregnant, that she would conceive, he was very, very, very skeptical. And so, as you are seeing the evidence of this, when she saw her belly, she was excited. She wanted to share in that joy and in that revelation with her spouse. Like I said, I didn't see that she actually did take the picture, but that thought did cross her mind. Okay, and so Verse 18. And Zacharias said to the angel, How should I know this? For I am an old man, and my wife is well advanced in years. And the angel answered and said to him, I am Gabriel, who stands in the presence of God, and was sent to speak to you and bring you these glad tidings. But behold, you will be mute and not able to speak until the day these things take place, because you do not believe my words, which will be fulfilled in their own time. Verse 23. So it was, as the days of his service were completed, that he departed to his own house. Now after those days, his wife Elizabeth conceived, and she hid herself 5 months, saying, Thus the Lord has dealt with me in the days when he looked on me, to take away my reproach among people. You are about to see the evidence. Other people are about to see the evidence of what it is that that the Lord has placed inside of you, that you have been carrying, that you have been laboring with, that you have been tending to. For who this word is for in this season, you are about to birth it. You are about to birth it. And this is a part of your vindication. The Lord is vindicating you. Whatever this is, whatever promise, whatever blessings these are. All right, double portion blessings in this season, in this hour. You are closer than you think, and it's happening sooner than you expect. All right, so of course, test the spirit behind this word and take this word back to the Lord for confirmation, for revelation, for further understanding and direction. Allow the Lord to speak to you and minister to your spirit and to your heart and confirm to you your individual situation, you know, what he's doing for you in this hour, if this is for you. And so if you feel you know anyone who you feel need to hear this word, feel free to share this with them. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and hit that notification bell so that you're notified of any future uploads when I post. And I'll be back soon with another word. Bye.